welcome. First of all, good morning, guten Morgen, goeiemorgen, sanbonani nonke. Welcome, and I have Mapule here with me. She's the principal from the school, and I asked her to join me here this morning as this is where this journey all started in 2018. So, Mapule, would you like to welcome us in your language, please?
Sanibonani nonke, siyanamukela at Cape Town Community Preschool.
Thank you. Today, we are here to celebrate Nelson Mandela Day in South Africa. I just have to apologize in advance if we don't have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth mics. So if there's noise in the background, I'll speak up as loud as I can. So please apologize I apologize for any technical issues. So again, today is Mandela Day in South Africa, and we are celebrating Madiba's birthday, as well as acknowledging that he has fought for 67 years for social justice and human rights. And as part of Madiba's Day, the 67-minute campaign is all about dedicating 67 minutes out of your time to give something back to the community. And I would like to thank all of you who's joining us this morning for taking out 67 minutes of your time to join us today. Ambabamba Funda has decided to dedicate this 67 minutes to early childhood development in South Africa. And we are doing a live broadcast from Kliptown, Soweto. And we're dedicating our time today to all parents and children in the spirit envisioned by Nelson Mandela. Thank you, Mapule. And we have very special guests this morning, and they have just arrived at the right time. So, und jetzt möchte ich die Mitglieder der Deutschen Botschaft herzlich begrüßen. Wir fühlen uns geehrt, wir fühlen uns geehrt, Sie in unserer Mitte zu haben. Ihre Unterstützung bedeutet uns sehr viel. So welcome to all of you, and Jonas, if you would like to come and sit next to me and just give people some background of why the German Embassy is here with us today.
Liebe Monja, vielen Dank für die Einladung, danke für die Worte auf Deutsch und das nette Willkommen. Hello everyone. Hello. Thank you for having us today on Nelson Mandela Day. Happy Mandela Day to all of you. You mentioned it already, the spirit of Nelson Mandela and this day today means that we support young people and vulnerable people. And this is the reason why we want to be here today. We want to see what you do. We want to look at your nice work. And we also want to give a small support and sign of appreciation of all that you do together. This is why we're here, and thank you so much for having us on Mandela Day. Vielen Dank.
And we will do this a bit later, but in support of the embassy, they have given us a beautiful gift, which is to buy toys for our project work. You will see today that we have very little toys, and the German Embassy have kindly given us the opportunity to go and buy toys, which is all at the back, and I will bring it out towards the end of the session.
Thank you,
thank you very much. Great. So we can start. I'd just like to introduce the mothers to you. So we have Eshel here. Come a little closer so everybody can see your face. We have Eshel with baby Jaden, who is now 1 year old. We have Maria with baby Linda, who is 3 months old. And then we have Tsepiso, she is a mother, and her daughter here is 5 years old. And she is currently doing an early childhood development program in South Africa. So she's here to learn from us. And then we have Agnes with baby Melo, who is 9 months old, 8 months old. And then we have Brenda with Kungao, who is 1 year, 3 months old. And then Precious, who you can't see, we'll bring her out later in the corner. Precious is with baby Etuto, he is 1 year, 9 months. Busi, if you want to come a bit closer to the screen, she is here with baby Menentle, who is 9 months old. So just welcome everybody. Without your presence, this today will not be possible. And I have Anna just come quickly. Anna is very special. She is one of the assistants who has completed the pilot project with us last year. And she's here to assist us today. And Anna has also arranged some food for us today to eat together. So, so thank you for your support, Anna. So I think we have, oh, and before I forget, Barbara Leveroni, she is my guest speaker. She is from the United States. She will be speaking towards the end of the session, and Barbara got up at probably 4:30 a.m. It's now 5 a.m., just after 5 a.m. in the morning in the United States. So I'm very honored to have her speak, and she's a colleague of mine who's a big support of this project. And I have so many colleagues from Holland, from Germany, from England, from France, all over the world that is online today supporting me. And I just, I cannot mention all of your names. I'm sorry, but I know that you are here with me. And I'd just like to say we might have some people online this morning that don't know what Hambaba Mafunda is. And I just like to say that we are a non-profit organization that deals with early childhood education in South Africa. And we advocate that early learning is critical for 0 to 2 and making it available to all shapes communities. And it lies in the bottom of my heart. Education in this country is my passion. And my dream is to develop a groundbreaking early childhood education program that is specific to South African landscape. And thanks to all these women, it's growing. And I think we're ready to start. So could we please take a 30-second pause? I'd like us just to become quiet. For any parents who's online this morning, it's very important that you can recognize your own state. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling angry, your emotional state will be picked up by these babies. And this is one of the big things that we emphasize in these sessions, is also to make the mothers aware that their emotional state impacts the babies. And when they are calm, the babies can be calmed. So can we just please, you can sit, you can close your eyes. If you like to observe the babies, please feel free. But if we could just take a 30-second pause so we can just feel ourselves. So if you are having a little bit of discomfort, you're feeling a little bit of pain in your body, perhaps you can make a subtle adjustment so that you can feel more comfortable in your. So I'm going to ask the mothers as well to just make sure as you are sitting here that you are comfortable in yourselves before we start the session. So thank you. Just 30 seconds of silence. Thank you. So I'd like us to start the morning with some tapping and squeezing. And this is, tapping and squeezing is something that comes from Habashela Child Space Method. And we here in Kliptown have taken tapping and squeezing to Shaya Shaya and Bamba Yega, which is the Zulu language. So even for our guests, if you could just sit, and I'm going to encourage the mothers, and if you're at home, please just take a limb, whether you take your leg, whether you take your arm, and just place your hand softly on your leg. And I'm going to ask the mothers to just join in, just to tap yourselves. So we're doing the tapping so that the mothers can feel what the baby is experiencing. And this brings in again the power of touch. And here in Kliptown, Soweto, the mothers are exposed to a lot of violence and abuse. So these kids grow up with only knowing an aggressive touch, a violent touch. And even in our sessions here, I've had to encourage the mothers to handle their children with a little bit more gentleness and softness. So in the child space method, the tapping and squeezing refers to mapping the body parts to the brain, and also from a sensory input, it releases the feel-good hormone, which is oxytocin. So the touching brings incredible part to the child's brain development. So if you could please place your hand on your leg, and we'll start with tapping, where you just lift the hand. Mapuli, if you need to pass, it's okay. Thank you. So you will lift your hand, and we'll just start to tap. And with the older babies, you might start to see that they will tap themselves. And we can say, Shaya, 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 Shaya. Come sit here next to me so everybody can see you. Shaya. So we have a 5-year-old here. What is your name again? What is the name again? Morusa. So we Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. And you can even tap your foot. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. So now just pause a moment and see if you can sense the part that you've tapped and the part that you haven't tapped. Yeah? Can you feel a difference? Yes? You don't have to tell us, but you can feel a difference, yeah? So now we will squeeze Bamba Yega. So we take 2 hands and we squeeze and let go. And we squeeze and let go. And we squeeze, Yega. Bamba Yega. Bamba yega, bamba, yega, bamba, yega. Great. So now everybody knows how to tap and squeeze, and we're going to practice a little bit with the babies. So if I can please borrow baby Linda, and then Maria, if you can come closer with the doll so that you can practice with the doll. You can pass me. See, already we have Jaden here. That is Shaya, Shaya, Shaya. Wonderful. Yeah? Shaya, Shaya, Shaya. Great. So you can pass me, baby Linda. So ladies, please take your babies. And we will start with the arms. And if you have a doll, Linda, Maria over here has a doll. So come so that people can see you. So the touching also enables us to really connect with the child. And here I have baby Linda in front of me, and already she's looking at me and I'm looking at her and she's giving me a beautiful smile. So I am introducing myself. So as a mother, you can acknowledge your child, and this is Linda and this is Monia. This is Linda and this is Monia. So we can start tapping. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. And the other arm. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, 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 Shaya. And then we go to the leg. Shaya, 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 Shaya. And one of the other reasons why we do tapping and squeezing is also if the baby is very tight in their muscles, then the tapping and the squeezing can help to soften the muscles so that their legs can bend a little bit better, yes. And then Shaya, 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 Shaya. Shaya, yes, and who is Shaya over there? Yes, I can hear it talk. Shaya, 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 Shaya. Now can we do Bamba Yega? Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. We go to the leg. Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. Bamba Yega. Great. Okay, so I've got 3 mothers here who've been practicing transitioning their babies from back to side to belly. So Maria, if you want to come closer here to Linda, and Agnes, if you want to come closer with Melo, please. So if you can pass me a doll, can I use your doll? And then come closer, Ishel. So, okay, so we're going to show everybody how we transition the babies. And I'd like to say that transitioning the babies is really important for their development. So if a baby only lies on his back, the only thing that they can see is the ceiling. So by transitioning, we're also encouraging spatial awareness, introducing them to different parts of the environment, and it also strengthens their muscles, their leg muscles, their arm muscles, and it can develop to further milestones. So let me just have some water. Okay, so you want to show with Jaden as well? Okay, so we put them on their back, yes. So first of all, we take the leg. We take the leg and we bend the leg. Slowly in, yes. That's it. And we tap. Shaya, 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 shaya. Shaya, 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 shaya. Yes. So now very slowly we bring the leg over to the side. Yes. So the foot can touch. And then shaya, 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 shaya. Shaya, 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 shaya. And we're pressing them a little bit so that they get a sense of the ground. Yeah. And then we slowly slide the leg. And when we lengthen the leg, the baby rolls over. Yes. That's it. You can bring Jaden over. That's it. Take the leg over, yes, and slide it down. There we go. And now what do we do with the arms? We bring the arms underneath, yes. Maybe we need to give, yes, Jaden. Yeah, and then he's going to roll himself back, yeah. So once the baby is on the belly, we can tap. Shaya, 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 shaya. Yes, and she's got something here to look at. Yeah, so we have a doll here. Yes. And then, ladies, we slide one leg up. Slowly, yes, slide the leg up. That's it, sliding the leg and bringing the leg down. And slide the other leg. Very good. And slide it back once more. Slide the leg up, great. And slide it back down and slide the leg up and bring it back down. So now we have to take them onto their back, yes. So the baby is looking this way, so we're going to slide the left leg up. That's it. She's looking this way, that's it. So you slide the leg up, move the arm out of the way, and then you bring the leg slowly in and the baby rolls onto the back. Yes. So we encourage the mothers to practice so that the babies can then start to transition themselves. And this is a big part for independence, so that we don't have to put the babies on their bellies and we don't have to take the babies on their back. By transitioning them and repeating it, the babies can do it themselves. Yeah. Thank you, ladies. So, can we have Mandela and baby Jaden here? Baby Jaden is learning to pull himself up to stand. And Mandela is already starting to take some steps. Yeah. So let's bring the chairs. There we go. And I think we can go and take some rattles. Do you want to take some rattles? And I just, yeah, in the big box. Thank you. Okay, so we have something that can give them some attention. So we put the rattle. We're going to put it down for him so he can reach for the rattle. And let's see what happens if you leave the rattle. So he's already pulling himself up. Now adjust into his side sit position. Side sit, that's it. So from a side sit position, the baby is able to pull himself up to kneel to the toy. Very good. Very good. So I'm asking Eshel just to give him feedback under his knees. Yeah, she's already pulling herself up. That's wonderful. Can you support her legs a little bit? Thank you. Very good. Very good. Anna, can I have another chair, please? So as you can see, we don't even have to do much with these babies. They do it themselves. So I'm going to put this chair on this side. So when we take the rattle and we put it over there, she's going to move from one chair to the next chair. Very nice. Good. Yes. Yeah. So, Pussy, can you show us how to bring her back down to kneeling? So when the baby is standing, I take the one leg and bend it down. Yes. She's not ready. She's not ready to bend yet, but she might squat in a moment. Yeah. So I'm going to bring this. Let's move her this way so baby Jaden can show them. So here, over here. And then we bring that chair this way. So we had one, after Jonas and Antje was here, after that session, she went home the following day, she started falling. Yeah, so Pussy was very excited. So let's see if we can get the camera to baby Jaden. Yeah. So can you show how to bring the leg into lunge, please? The right leg. Okay. Ah, look. My goodness. That's the first time. Yes. So now just move a little bit behind him so I can show you. So now we can support his legs by just taking your hand and just supporting his feet, yeah, so that he can really feel that he's standing on his legs, yeah. So we can even tap him. So now he's already, you're going to feel he's going to bend his legs, he's going to straighten his legs. That's it, yeah. Very good. Very good. So let's see if we can get him to come back down, yeah. How are we going to get him to kneel? Okay. Yes. Very good. Very good. Very good. Can we have another chair? Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Very good. Very good. Clever, clever. Yes. Great. So this is a baby. When we started about 6 months ago, he could only sit, and he could only sit because you made him sit, and he was very clinging onto Eshel, and now we have a baby here that is playing, he's not crying, he's not clinging onto his mother, which is really beautiful to see, yeah? Great. So did she come down by herself? Yeah, great. So let's see if Jaden will come down. Yeah, can you see how he's bending his legs? Yes. Yes, are you talking? I can hear. Yes, yes, great. Can I just, there we go. Can I just put there we go. Yes. Look, and we're sitting. Great. Thank you. Okay, so we can move these chairs out of the way. So can we have baby Etuto and Kungao come closer? So we have older babies here. And I know you can pass the blocks. So with the older babies, we're encouraging block play. So Precious, come sit here next to me. Oh, this is Jaden. Look what is over here. Yes. Yes. So we're encouraging the older babies to play with blocks. So this is very good for thinking skills, problem solving and getting them to complete a task. So often parents, they give a toy and they just leave the babies to play. And here we are encouraging the mothers to sit with the babies and play with them. So can you, with your child, build something and see if they will respond to what you're building, okay? So let's give the mothers an opportunity to build. Let's build a tower, yes? Yeah? So can we build a tower? Yeah? So take some blocks, yeah, and build a tower. Yes. And then you can show him how to put the flower on top of the tower. Yeah? Yes. Yes. So also in the blocks, when they play with the blocks, it's very good for fine motor skills. So later on, we won't have children that is going to struggle with holding pencils and cutting scissors at school. Yeah? And straight away, these two little boys are also quite hyperactive. And by giving them something to play with, like the blocks, it really helps their concentration, so the nervous system also calms down. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Wow. Where's Jaden? Ah, good. Yes. So how can we put it? So a big part of this work is really to give attention, yeah? And when we sit with a baby and we give 100% attention, they can feel the affection and the love that is being translated from the parent to the child. And in my opinion, I think this is missing in a lot of parenthood, that this attention and talking to the babies, singing to the babies, really being present. I think that's a big part of what we're aiming to do here, is train up caregivers who can sit on the floor with these kids, and instead of just leaving them on the ground and changing their nappies and feeding them without any stimulation. Anna, would you like to come and just sit here next to me, please? And Anna completed the pilot project last year, and maybe you want to just say a few words of what the work has done for you as a mother and a grandmother, because Anna is a mother and a grandmother.
Hi guys.
Speak up.
When I first started the program, my grandson, I've got two grandsons. My first grandson, his name is he was a very active child. He likes to grab things, and yes, for me, I also have many anger issues when we speak to me. I was like, but since I started this, I control my anger. My grandson no longer just grab things. I sit with him and say, no, this is not just, because everything, like if he comes, this is mine. And he goes to the child, that is mine. So I've learned to sit with him and say, no, this is not yours. This is yours. So I'm much better since I completed my test here. I'm not angry anymore. I can control myself. I squeeze him and tap him. I also give it to my husband because he's very busy and he wants to work. And he's like getting stressed. I was like, oh, come, sit, daddy. Come, sit. Let me just show. And you will feel like, because everything that I learn here, I do it in home also. Yes.
Right. So can we put the blocks away and let's do some singing? Yes. So the singing is also to bring joy and happiness, and there's a lot of language singing to the babies. They mimic the sounds and make these babies really learn facial expressions as well. So, just sing. Just sing. Yes. Okay. Right. So can we please stand up? Please stand up. So Dean, okay, so please can you take your baby, and if you want to join us, please can you stand, and let's stand in a circle. Yeah. Precious, come around, please. You don't need the doll, but can you hold your baby? Yes, yes, you can take this one. Yeah. And you're going to hold it like so. Yeah. So you hold, and we're going to start stomping the feet. Yeah. So turn him around. So it's back. Yes. And you hold the legs, and we start stomping the feet. So the vibration from the floor comes up your body into the baby's body. Yes. So that's it. So we have created 2 songs, and we'll do the English version first, and then we'll do the Zulu version, okay? Which is forward, forward, forward. Backward, backwards, backwards. Around, around, around. Turn back, turn back, turn back. Okay. Cammini, cammini, cammini. E mova, e mova, e mova, e mova. Surround, 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 surround. Sachiga, 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 sachiga. Cammini, 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 cammini. E mova, e mova, e mova, e mova. Surround, 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 surround. Sachiga, 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 sachiga. And we all fall down. Good. The mothers also get some exercise on the second song, yes? So let's stand up. Yes. So the English version is right, left, yeah? So the beat is a little bit faster, yeah? So we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, yes. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Left, 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 right, right, right. Go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. Go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up, go up. Good. Now, right, left, right, left. Yeah, it's Zulu. All right, are we ready? Yes. Right, left. Yes. Okay. Yes. You ready? And we all fall down. Right. Good. Okay, let's open the circle. So what you've just seen here is more or less how we have a session. every Saturday we come to Kliptown and we allow the babies to set the tone of the session. Yeah. You can take some blocks if you want to give him some blocks. Yeah. I think he really enjoyed playing with the blocks. There we go. Yeah. Yes. So I really wanted to give people an experience of what happens in these sessions, and that there's so much that can be done with babies 0 to 2, instead of just putting them there and letting them be. And this is why I've asked Barbara, who is a very experienced child space trainer. She is a practitioner, a Feldenkrais practitioner, and I've asked her to say a few words on why it's so important for parents to really spend time in giving 100% attention to their child. So Barbara, if you are ready, let me just see if the speaker is on. I don't think it is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me? Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Monia, for inviting me to join today.
And everybody else, Barbara. Yes.
We're okay? No, I just lost you, Monia, so I don't know.
No, I made on quiet that you can talk maybe.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Okay, so I'll begin. Thank you. So thank you, Monia, for having me today. I followed Monia's progress in what she's doing in South Africa for a couple of years now. And I find it just the most amazing work of the way we can use child space in all different situations. So thank you, Monia, for what you've done there and being able to see it today, see the mothers. I'm really, really thrilled that they're coming back and wanting to train with you. That tells me that your process, your project is flourishing. And I know that it wouldn't be flourishing so well without the help of a good staff. I know you have some wonderful people supporting you. And now this wonderful donations from the German embassy. It really does take a village, doesn't it? And so many different people from different aspects are coming together to make the lives of these children so improved through the education of the caretakers and the parents. I loved all the noisy babies. I miss that. I'm moving towards retirement myself, so I don't get to be around that many babies anymore. So it's really kind of a treat to be with all of you and to watch them play and just be babies. As Monia said, I've been a senior child space trainer for many years, and I did also work a lot with disadvantaged children from difficult situations, and I know how hard it can be, and also how completely rewarding it is, as we saw today. She really did give you a traditional basic format for a lesson, and it can be done at home just with you and your baby, or it could be done with a small group, it can be done with a large group. But we start with connecting with the baby. I love the way she started with calming things down, everybody getting in touch with whether or not we were ready to engage. And then she went into some really traditional steps, which were easy for us to follow. We begin with that connection with the baby. She moved on to the touching and the squeezing. That's called proprioceptive touch. And it immediately sends signals to a baby's brain to help them understand their body parts. Plus they're born with a really, really good sense of touch. So they know what it's like when the mother holds them well and comfortably and secure. So the early touching and tapping that she did with the group today was perfect. It's the way we begin all our lessons in child space. The Shaya was just great, and to see the little ones doing it too, and doing it to each other or to their mothers, tells you how much the baby absorbs it, feels it, and then wants to do it as well. Monia moved on to the idea of some movement then. She worked with children of different ages, which is quite a skill, right? But the little ones, she started with the transition to being on the tummy. If you get a doctor's report around 3-4 months old, they will ask you if the baby is lifting their head. And so the mothers are told to put the babies on the tummy so the baby can practice lifting their head. But sometimes they don't know how they got there. Mother just puts them on the tummy because the doctor said tummy time is important, and it is. So, but what Monia showed you today was how even more important it is to transition the baby to the tummy slowly with mother's touch after having done the tapping and squeezing. And then she brought the baby slowly onto the tummy. So it was a chance for them to explore a different environment in their room. They felt comfortable in their own bodies, knowing and feeling what it was like to be on the side, what was it like to be on the front, to see a whole new world when you're on your belly. And then she carefully told the mothers how to bring them off the tummy. So that also felt very natural. So this idea of honoring the milestones that the doctors are expecting babies to achieve, but really being more interested in how we get there and how do we get there to where it supports the baby's sense of self and sense of ability to do it themselves, what we call agency. So in this respect, one of the babies was really close to just rolling himself off his tummy, right? It's so very different than just being put on or picked up from being on the tummy. So that was a very good example of how we then move from the touching and the tapping to movement that relates to the developmental stages that a baby should be moving through. She did it again with the older babies whose developmental stage is coming up and coming down, rather than mother standing the baby or holding the baby's hands and pulling them up. She brought the low chair so the babies could feel their hands on the chair, push themselves up with their own impetus. And the mothers just helped by bringing a little support to the foot, or maybe helping them come to half of a kneel. Very small little supportive actions in this idea of the importance of movement towards learning the developmental steps in a way that really feels like the baby's a partner in this. So the touch and then the movement, and then she brought in the older babies there today for some of the more cognitive activities of working with the blocks and putting things in buckets. I love that because that's an important part for an older baby who sometimes can be a little wild and running all around the place, to calm them down, to give them a little bit of focus, to work on colors and numbers and counting and a cooperative sense of play. So it was a very rich lesson that you saw today. And as you can see, it covered everything from touch and movement to milestones, achievement, to cognitive and early language. She brought them all up at the end with song, movement, rhythm, and all of this leads to a really healthy development for the baby and for the mother. I loved it. I think her name was Anna, was talking about her own personal experience in going through the work with Monia, that she changed, right? That the mom changed and felt stronger in her own sense of self. Her own self-image improved as she learned how to relate to the children in this way. So the relationship develops. It's what we call reciprocal nurturing. Okay, the mother is lit up because the baby's doing something that she helped the baby do. The baby lights up, smiles, the mother smiles back. It's a wonderful loop of success. And this leads me to speak just a few minutes about how important that relationship building is. And we need to build those relationships with the children and teach the caregivers to do this with their children from the very beginning, because it's through these strength-based relationships that a baby's sense of self develops from the beginning. And as their sense of self develops, so does their social emotional life. And we begin to have a baby who's in touch with their feelings, can express their feelings as they get a little bit older, and you can help shape their relationships with their friends and their teachers and the other members of their families. So we call it strength-based relationships. And we begin by acknowledging in the very beginning that little baby is needing these relationships. From the beginning, a baby is born, and in that first month, they are innately attracted to the mother's face or the caregiver's face or the daddy's face that's holding him. So that one-on-one connection from the beginning is very, very important. The baby is not yet ready to actively ask for anything or indicate something, but they're watching. And they watch very carefully what's going on in the parent's face. Their vision has only developed to where they can focus about 12 inches. So it's a perfect time for a new parent, those of you that have a baby that's newborn or up to 5 or 6 weeks old, to just spend that really quiet, precious time face to face with a baby. There are special nerve endings in the brain called mirror neurons that will allow the child to watch what you're doing and slowly begin to mimic what you do. So we want to give the baby the opportunity to see how we smile, to see how we use our eyes, and even to begin to use our lips and our teeth and our tongue, and to show them that what it's like to really smile and to make words, ba, 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 the beginning of simple words. And this can happen right from the beginning as the baby is so entranced at that first 6 weeks or so with the face. Now, after about 6 weeks, there's this lovely, what they call the 2-month revolution. The baby suddenly starts to see better. So he can see beyond just the caretaker's face. And of course, if they're beginning to go to their side and to their tummy, their eyesight develops even more because they can see different parts of their world, not just the ceiling. So the relationship with the parent changes a little bit too, because now the parent can react to what the baby might be looking at and talk about what the baby might be looking at. The parent can narrate to the baby what they're getting ready to do. It's time to change your diaper. Let me put you on the table. Here's the cloth I'm going to clean you up with. So you begin to build a baby's sense of self and their world through your words as well. And the babies begin to respond. You can see the temperament of the child starting to develop and come forth. So it's a very, very rich time in that second and leading into the 3rd month. So now as we get into the 3rd, 4th, 5th month, the baby's skills have again improved. They can reach, they're starting to reach to grab. So their vision has improved. So now they see an external object, right? It's no longer mommy's face. It's no longer just the relationship with the dad or the caretaker, but there's another aspect of a toy that they can share. So having that topic, that separate topic that they could bring to the child. This is a rattle. Do you feel how it is in your hand? This is a different rattle. Feel this. So you can begin to have engagement around a 3rd object in the baby's world. And again, very important to narrate as you're walking them down the street. Oh, let's go look at these flowers. Let's look at this tree. So there's this constant recognition that the baby can see and do more. So you offer more. Okay, you offer more. As they move into their 4th and 5th month, this continues because you can begin to see that the baby maybe is rolling more actively now. In just a few months, they'll be crawling on their belly. And now their world really opens up. Now we have to move into what we call creating a circle of security, that we allow the baby to explore. Maybe they're belly crawling, maybe they've worked their ways up to hands and knees, but they're going to want to move away from the parent to explore. And the parent needs to be there so that when the baby's ready to come back, the parent is there to give the baby the support. So it's called the Circle of Security, and it's one of those things that you can find online. I think it's circleofsecurityinternational.com, and it's really an important part of the baby's development as they get more mobile and they want to explore more, that we allow them, we encourage them, we're there for them when they're exploring, keeping an eye on them, of course, but really being willing to let them out to explore. A lot of parents get too protective, or they don't realize how important it is that the baby have that opportunity. So now we've moved towards the end of the 1st year, and the baby's really connecting things up now, all right? They understand that when the mother goes towards the food, that maybe she's going to prepare the bottle. Mother could help by showing, let's say you want to feed some avocado. So show the baby how you're peeling the avocado and how it smashes up, and then give the baby a piece of that to eat and have a conversation about it. So everything you do, these activities of daily living, become really, really important in the baby's development of their sense of self, who they are, what their world is like. Their self-image is developing based on their relationship with the people that are taking care of them. By the time they are reaching the end of their first year, all of this is coming together. They're beginning to get a sense that the mother's experience might be different than their own personal experience. That's a big change for the child, because you know how it is with babies. They think they're the only baby in the world, right? And everything is supposed to be there just for them. And they start to realize they're not the only baby in the world. It's very important to have them around other children during this later part of the first year, if they haven't already been, so that they can begin to see how they fit into this larger world. So they begin to understand that their experience might be separate from somebody else's experience. And that's a big step for them. That's a real big step for them. As they move into the toddler years, as they start to walk, there's an interesting change again, because their ability to explore has really, really exploded. Some of them are a little more dangerous. They're going to just take off running. And so again, we have to be very careful to keep them safe or secure. They're not ready yet to understand how to follow rules or stand still, or necessarily in the beginning walk in a straight line or take turns. They are still in this mindset of being the toddler, and everything in the world belongs to them. There's a wonderful poem that goes around called The Toddler's Creed. It says, if I want it, it's mine. If I give it to you and I change my mind later, it's still mine. If I can take it away from you, it's mine, and so forth. That is their idea that the whole world is belongs to them. And again, the parent's job is to understand that. Don't put expectations on the beginning toddler that they have the ability to understand yet. They will soon, but we begin to work with them at that emotional level of their development. And so now we've pretty much moved through that first and second year of the baby's life, looking at some of the emotional changes that they go through. And all along the way, we're following touch, movement, and play, because that's the best way a child learns. The touch gives them a sense of their body, right? The movement has to happen for them to explore their world and have a sense of self that's competent. And all of it is done through play. We must remember that, to get down on the floor, as Monia said, and spend some time with the children, dedicated time with the children. Give them just a few simple toys. Let them pick one or two that they want to play with, put the rest of them away, and get down on the floor and play with them with the toys that they're interested in. Follow their lead as they play. You might be surprised. They can take a stack of cups and do a whole lot of things with them, making towers, knocking the towers down, making a bridge, sending a car under the bridge. Many different ways to play with a certain small toy. They don't need a lot of toys. They really don't, but they do need some toys. And lots of physical activity, crawling, climbing, going in and out of tunnels, etc. I think the most important thing I want to leave you with today is that as a parent, and those of you that are training to become teachers with Monia, that we have to explain and teach parents how to recognize and understand this development of the baby's mind, that they are not just an empty slate in those early years, that they are beginning to observe, they are beginning to try to figure out who they are in their own way of thinking and feeling and sensing. So one of the phrases that I like to use is, if your baby had words, what might they be saying? If your baby had words, what might he be tell you that he's feeling? If your baby had words, what might he be trying to tell you that he wants? So we try to interpret, get a sense of what that baby might be going through, in addition to the sense of what we're going through, which is the way Monia started this whole morning, right? I have to be aware of my own feelings in the moment, and also aware of this child's feelings in the moment. And if they don't have words yet, or even when they first start to have words, to really listen, to really try to figure out what's going on in their little minds, and then feed that back to them. I wonder if, you know, you'd like to have a little bit of quiet time. I wonder if maybe it's time to take a rest. I wonder if maybe you're hungry. I wonder if maybe you're bored. I wonder if maybe we should go outside and get some fresh air. You know, you talk to your child about everyday things in the realm of what they might be feeling, they might be thinking, they might be needing or wanting, and help find the words for the child's inner life. And then you're learning more about their inner life, defining it for them, and their social emotional growth grows accordingly. I'll close with what the definition for infant mental health is from the experts who work with infant mental health, and their language is developing the capacity of the child from birth to age 3 to experience, regulate, and express emotions. Number 2, form close and secure interpersonal relationships. And 3, to explore the environment and learn. So I hope you can see that everything Monia and her group did today, there was to experience and regulate emotions, right? There was close and personal relationships and environmental exploration and learning. So everything Monia is doing there is designed to allow a baby to grow, not just physically, not just with their motor skills, not just even with their cognitive skills of eventually being able to read and write, but all wrapped up in this idea of building their social and emotional well-being. So thank you so much for having me. I'm sure that there's going to be many questions. Monia will perhaps send some of those to me. I'm happy to do some email correspondence with anyone that would like to talk some more about these efforts, but I'd like to turn it back over to her to close the morning and give her my congratulations for a job well done. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. Can people hear me now? So Barbara,
I can hear you.
Thank you very much. I think in South Africa, we are so hungry for people to share, and I'm so honored that you are here with us today. I think I'm the only Feldenkrais practitioner in the entire Johannesburg. I'm the only child space practitioner in the entire Africa, and I feel so blessed that we need more support, and all my colleagues out there, your support means so much for me. I'm reaching out, and one of my colleagues, Esther Zandberger from Holland, Tjitske de Boer, whenever I am in need of some advice, I reach out, and we really are hungry in South Africa for knowledge, and I really appreciate your effort this morning in communicate. As I said earlier, there's such a need, and this community do not have access to any of this, and I'm really hoping that this will grow and that people will get to see what we're doing, and that we can bring this into the educational system in South Africa, because I also know that this is what Nelson Mandela would have wanted. And I'm going to close with this quote where he says, "Education is the most powerful weapon to change the world." And I'm standing 100% behind that. And this is my mission and purpose in South Africa, is to make a difference in the lives of these young children. And thank you very much for everybody that joined today. I am very blessed. Thank you.